It wasn't just the legendary Ponce de Leon who was looking for the fountain of youth. Being here in Beverly Hills, I'm reminded that no generation in history has been more obsessed with looking younger and living longer and avoiding the whole aging process than this current generation. We don't want to get old and worn out, but if we live long enough, we will. What if someone could show us how to live without aging forever? According to the traditional account, it was the Spanish governor, Juan Ponce de Leon, who was searching for the fountain of youth when he made his way to Florida. Legend has it that he heard about this youth-restoring fountain after conquering Puerto Rico, making his way to Florida in hopes of finding it there. That time in his life, he'd accumulated plenty of personal wealth, but he was looking for something that money couldn't buy. Now, historians dispute some of the details of this account, but one thing is sure, he never found what he was looking for. He never found that mystical fountain whose waters could restore one to youth again. You know, it's no surprise that he and a host of others through the centuries have looked for a way to reverse the aging process, to recapture the vigor and beauty of youth, to turn the clock back again. Wouldn't it be wonderful? What would you pay for a single drink that could make you young again? Well, Ponce de Leon may not have found it, but the infomercials today are abuzz with Cindy Crawford's Fountain of Youth, a skincare product that she developed with the Paris doctor Jean-Louis Sebach, Europe's reigning youth guru. The search continues.
Well, of course.
I haven't.
I think it's mostly just for good science fiction movies.
The Fountain of Youth, yeah, they're still looking for it.
I haven't heard of the Fountain of Youth, no.
I know how to maintain my youth. I know the secret.
What Fountain of Youth are you talking about?
Here in Rodeo Drive, you have it all. The hippest clothes, finest jewelry, plastic surgery for everything. It's true. No generation has been as obsessed with good looks as ours, and that means youthful looks. From the endless plastic surgery options to the latest exercise craze or the newest health food, we're hooked. And the images are everywhere. The six-pack abs, the perfect smiles, the stunning bodies. There's celebrities like Joan Rivers, now well into her 70s and without a facial wrinkle after countless plastic surgeries, to the point she even jokes on a Geico commercial she can no longer feel her face. There was even an accusation that Vice President Joe Biden was injected with Botox before his debate with Sarah Palin to change his appearance. Of course, his spokespeople denied the charge, but radio commentator Rush Limbaugh was sure something was fishy with Biden's forehead and eyebrows. He even compared his look to a Klingon from Star Trek. One plastic surgery website offers 100 options, including abdominal etching, body contouring, breast augmentation, breast reduction, brow lift, chemical peel, chin surgery, eyelid surgery, fat transfers, laser skin resurfacing, lip augmentation, liposuction, male breast reduction, neck lift, thread lift, and tummy tuck. Of course, not everybody can afford plastic surgery or is willing to go into the knife. So another website states that you can take 10 years off your face without plastic surgery by using the right anti-aging products. But that brings us back to our original question. Can we really reverse the aging process? Where, oh where, is that elusive fountain of youth? This question might catch some people a little off guard. Is there too much emphasis on blood in the Bible?
Obsessed with good looks? I think so.
Do I think so? Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think so. I'm on a dating service, and I mean, if I'm not attracted to the lady, I just don't write back to her.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was just making sure my hair was looking good before I left the house today.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have any exercise equipment sitting around your house? That's right, I mean sitting as in unused, dormant. Maybe it was the latest home gym so you could look like a young Arnold Schwarzenegger, or maybe the best ever fat-reducing ab flattener to give you the quickest results with the minimum effort. Yeah, that infomercial really sold you. Hey, some of them sold me too, but now those gadgets just sit around unused somewhere in a storage room, and every day we get older, we get a little bit less fit too. You know, one of my friends once bought this belt to put around his waist so he could exercise while doing his work. The belt would send signals to his muscles so that they would exercise automatically, but after a few weeks he quit using it. He was too lazy. Well, maybe what we need is some kind of special tonic or an amazing drink that'll purge our system of poisons and rejuvenate our bloodstreams. Maybe one of those superfoods that'd make us feel super fit. Maybe we just need some kind of cream that'll take away the wrinkles or the crow eyes or get rid of some of the fat. You know, I bet this cleansing spa over here has some good products. Maybe a few hours in there could buy us back a few years. You know, now that I think of it, Ponce de Leon had it a whole lot easier than we do. He didn't have as many options, either find the fountain of youth or die. Today we can change our appearance right up until our closing moments. Look, it's one thing to be healthy. This obsession with good looks is really over the top. I think we've taken it one step too far.
It's scary, but I don't have a problem with it, really.
I like the idea of growing old gracefully.
We've been talking about the search for the fountain of youth, about all of our efforts to avoid the aging process, about our obsession with trying to look young. The problem is, if you're fortunate to live long enough, you're going to get old. That means getting wrinkled and worn out, run down. There's no way to avoid it. It happens to everybody. I mean, look at some of these famous actresses, first in their beautiful, glamorous days, and then as old women, some of them ravaged by sickness. How about Brigitte Bardot, then and many years later? Who would have imagined? And then there is Myrna Loy, first as a young, glamorous film star, and then years later. Whew, what a change. And then there's Lauren Bacall, then, now. What about Fay Wray of King Kong fame? She got old too. Even the lovely Audrey Hepburn, she couldn't avoid the aging process either. And then there are other stars, just it happened to every single one of them. They all got old. You know, it's for good reason that the Jewish scriptures say charm is deceptive, beauty's fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. But, you know, our Jewish Bible also says that God has put eternity into our hearts. Could it be that what we're really looking for is eternal life? Could it be that deep down what the human race is longing for, what we really want, is to live forever?
It hurts. But you know what? If I knew then what I know now, I would have stayed in school, learned as much as I could, and listened to my mom.
I look forward to it until like 21, and after that I don't want to get older.
I feel pretty good about growing older.
It's a drag.
My eyesight's starting to go. I'm at about that 40-something age.
It's scary, but I don't have a problem with it, really.
I like the idea of growing old gracefully. Especially some of the, I mean, seriously, if you didn't, you'd end up looking like that woman earlier today.
Some of the most famous texts from the ancient world speak about the quest for eternal life. From the land of our forefather Abraham comes the Epic of Gilgamesh, written on clay tablets in the Sumerian and Babylonian languages. According to the story, Gilgamesh was a disheartened king who became friends with a half-wild man named Enkidu. And after Enkidu's death, Gilgamesh began to seek immortality. But this is what fascinates me. This is an ancient text written in difficult languages, Sumerian, which was in pictograph, and Babylonian, which was written in cuneiform, which referred to the wedge-shaped kind of letters that you've probably seen. Now, I studied the Babylonian language in grad school. I worked with some of these very texts, and they didn't make for easy reading. And yet, this ancient Gilgamesh is an icon of pop culture today. That's right, the ancient fictional king is a contemporary hero. In literature, there have been Gilgamesh books like Brian Trent's Never Grow Old, focusing on the legendary plant thought to grant immortality, or Richard Weaver's Gilgamesh, The Lot of Man, Diaries of an Immortal. In music, the group Tourniquet released an album in the year 2000 featuring a song called The Tomb of Gilgamesh, which speaks of man's desire for immortality. And there have been Gilgamesh operas written by Italian and Serbian composers. There's even a Japanese rock band called Garugamesh, based on our hero's name. Who would have thought? So what's the connection between an ancient Babylonian text and a contemporary Japanese rock band? It's the quest for eternal life. It's the desire to live forever. And I believe God put this into our hearts. Do you think we're too obsessed with anti-aging and all the surgeries? Is it good, or are we going over the top with this?
I think that it probably has gone over the top a little bit.
I would agree with you.
Tiny, right? A little bit, and I think it's too much. Just me, and it's kind of like, where's the society that we used to have, where everybody used to come together? It's more like just obsession.
It's so superficial.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's just all about how you look now.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think we've gone too far? You think that our culture is obsessed with good looks and anti-aging?
I think we are, especially here in Beverly Hills. I think so.
Now, coming from England, what's your take on kind of the Hollywood mentality, the beautiful people?
I love it. I mean, you've got to enjoy it in the sunlight. Everyone looks great, and they have to in California because of the weather.
I think plastic surgery is just out of control.
So what do you think really matters in life? Is the biggest thing appearance, popularity, or is there something more important?
I think there's definitely more important things in
I think
life.
it's that you can be happy with somebody forever and be happy with yourself until you die.
Feel accomplished, I guess. Yeah, I think that's what really matters.
I think it's more the persona, because if you have your looks and stuff, but you're gonna age eventually, and you're not gonna be young your whole life.
So how do you feel when you see a picture like one of these old stars that's trying to look young? How does that strike you?
Well, it depends on how old they are.
When they're like 85 or 90 and they're trying to still look young. And
I think at some point in time you have to process that you're an elderly person and just enjoy it.
Now, how is it in England? Is there the same obsession in England?
It's getting there, but it's not quite as bad just yet.
Really?
Yeah, because we watch all the American shows and movies, and of course it's a major influence.
You're all young. I'm 53. I still feel young, but I'm great and all that.
You look 23.
Cool, thanks. How do you feel when you see these famous actresses and actors, and they're old now? How does it look to you? And they're trying to look young.
I think it's sort of funny to see people.
I think it means I'm getting older.
Do you think we put more emphasis on the outside than on the inside in our society today?
I think depending on the industry that you're in, yes. I mean, for this type of the entertainment industry, the fashion industry, that's what sells. You have to be able to sell, and if you don't sell, then you're not going to be successful. So that's why it's important to have that superficial focus, even though it's not really that important. But for the industry that you're in, if you want to make money, then you better still look young and you better still look good, you know?
Well, we got an interesting cross-section here. There were three young people, all from California, and two of them had Hollywood written all over them. In fact, those two are in fashion school. And there was an older woman who was a legal consultant, still full of youth, vitality, and then an older man from England who was actually knighted as Lord. He was a magician that did work for charity. But you know the thing that they all had in common? Every one of them agreed with this one proposition. We've taken things too far with this anti-aging thing, this obsession with good looks.
I think that this is a drop in the bucket. I think that 80 years, if you're lucky to live, then there's got to be something more, and I'm 100% sure.
We've looked at the contemporary obsession with anti-aging products and surgeries, and we've looked at ancient texts like the Epic of Gilgamesh, which speaks of the quest for eternal life. And we found a similar pattern. People just don't want to grow old and die, but all of us are going to die, whether young or old. And so it's not surprising that many religions speak of life after death. Do you believe in life after death? If my memory serves me right, when the Jewish comedian Groucho Marx was asked this very question, he gave a classic answer. He said, "I'm not sure if I believe in life before death." Of course, Groucho was just being Groucho, but he gave us something to think about. Really, what is life? Is it just existence? Is it just health, good looks, popularity, lots of money? What is life? The most famous Jewish teacher of all time said to a crowd of Jewish listeners, "I have come that you might have life and have it to the full." One of his followers, perhaps the most widely read Jewish author of all time, spoke of the life that is really life. What they were saying was that life has more to do with quality than quantity, and that means that all the cosmetic surgeries and anti-aging products can't produce one drop of true life. They may enhance our appearance on the outside, but real life comes from within, and it can even survive bodily decay. Where do we find it? Do you think that deep down, people really want to live forever? Is even beyond the aging process that...
Well, it depends on your quality of life. If you're 90 years old and you're on a walker and you can't remember, you have Alzheimer's, then I don't think it would be that important to me.
So what about then the spiritual question? Is there life after death?
Wow, that's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know.
Don't know.
Do you personally believe there's such a thing as life after death?
Oh yeah, I think that this is a drop in the bucket. I think that 80 years, if you're lucky to live, then there's got to be something more, and I'm 100% sure, and I live with faith that there's life after death.
All right.
Me too. I definitely agree with what he said. Yeah, I definitely think there's life after death.
All right.
Well, yeah, there is a life, eternal life after death.
All right.
Seeing it from a Christian point of view, it's yeah, we're supposed to live eternally.
It was Rabbi Yeshua the Messiah, better known as Jesus Christ, who said that he came into the world to give you and me life. And if you come to know him personally, you'll find the path to true life, something better than the fountain of youth. A Jewish fisherman named Yochanan or John had this to say. He was an eyewitness of Yeshua's life, death, and resurrection. He said this, "The life appeared, and we've seen it, and we testify to it, and we proclaim to you the eternal life that was with the Father and now has come to us." What was he saying? He spoke of him as the life, Jesus the Messiah, as the life himself, as eternal life. He called him the Word of life. He said, in him was life. What did he mean? Once a Jewish crowd was saying to Jesus, "Give us some bread to eat." And he said to them, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never be thirsty. Whoever believes in me will never be hungry." He even said that the words he spoke themselves were spirit and life. Some people once said to him, "What's the path to God?" He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to God except through me." You see, you can live to be 100 years old and never experience real life, because we are spiritual beings in earthly bodies, and we've got to get rightly connected to God, the author and source of life. Jesus, our Rabbi, our Messiah, our King, the Son of God, comes into this world to give us life. And yet there's more. Can I share it with you?
So what's your opinion? Do you think it's possible to live forever?
No, of course not. No one lives forever.
Eternal life, yes. You know, spiritually, yes, but not like here.
Not as currently as a human, no, you won't be living forever, but your atoms, whatever, electrons will still be here.
No.
I do. But I'm just astonished.
I think we can all agree that the essence of life is more than having a beautiful figure, a perfect smile, but it goes deeper. The full meaning of life can't be found in anything in this world, not even in family and friends. It only comes when we have an intimate relationship with God, the giver of life and the source of life. That's what Jesus meant when he said to a woman standing by a well in Samaria, "Whoever drinks this water will thirst again. Whoever drinks the water that I give will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give will be in him, a well of water springing up into eternal life." And that's the amazing thing. The kind of life that Yeshua gives is eternal life. It's of a different quality than natural earthly life, and it's of a different quantity too. It never ends. That's why Jesus could say, "I tell you the truth, whoever hears my words and believes him who sent me has eternal life and will not be condemned. He's crossed over from death to life. 37 years ago, I crossed over from the natural earthly life of selfish ambition and pride and sin and separation from God, an earthly life that's more like a living death. And I crossed over into eternal life, and that means I'll never be condemned. I'll never die. Oh yeah, I mean, I'll get older and my body may decay and get worn out and wrinkled, and I'm already pretty gray, but I'll never die. I'll just shed this earthly tent and I'll move right into the unveiled presence of God. I already have eternal life. So I leave you with Yeshua's words spoken right before he raised one of his followers from the dead. I am the resurrection and the life, he said. He who believes in me, though he dies, will live. And he who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?